Good morning, everybody. This is Judith Echo. You're listening to Mad Love. Let's get into it. This has been some heavy time. These last 2 weeks, I know I've said a lot of things that are unsettling. They're disturbing. They're frustrating. They seem impossible. They seem improbable. But I assure you, I only do this podcast after I meditate and do my morning prayer, and everything that comes out is based off of my meditation. It's been put in my heart to say it. And, these are scary times for the spiritually insecure, but if you have any kind of spirituality, you understand that this is what it's been about the whole time. This is the battle we've been born to fight, because this is a spiritual battle that will require fortitude and faith and knowledge that if we don't go through this, we can't possibly live in a world that's peaceful and loving and kind, because there have been so many people behind the scenes trying to distract us. I'm convinced that all of this surveillance that they've put into place and spying on us with listening to our phone calls and all of that was to see if people would finally figure out what was actually going on. It was, sold to us as keeping us safe from domestic threats, or international threats even. But I feel honestly that they were just wanting to spy on us to see if we would ever figure out what the hell was happening, because it just has gotten out of control, and they're afraid that this will be the thing that will collapse the government. And it is, because universally good people everywhere agree that it's wrong to torment, torture, possibly eat children, to hunt children. I think we're just getting to the tip of the iceberg. And do I think Jeffrey Epstein is possibly still alive? Yes, it's very much a possibility. This man was a key figure in a very elaborate, expansive, global sex trafficking blackmail operation. And then don't forget the satanic part of it and the witchcraft. I'm throwing witchcraft in there. It's not witchcraft. It's definitely satanic. And sorry, witches. And he also did a lot of scientific experiment. That's not the right word. Scientific experimentation on people. That's why he had a dental chair in his home. That's why there were spaces where people could experiment surgically on bodies and do all kinds of weird things. He had a lot of medical relationships. I think people need to look into his quote-unquote philanthropy towards institutions like Harvard, because I worked at a university and I know that they will take donor money. They definitely will take your donor money, and you'll get a lot of sway. So if he's coming in there with his, crazy ideas about race and the master race and superiority and gene manipulation and all this stuff, I'm sure they took his money to allow him to do that. And, I don't have proof, but I'm certain that, he was hanging around a bunch of scientists for a reason. And he did believe that Jewish people were superior, and he's got a weird penis. That's wild to me. Again, are we suffering because of all these men with weird penises? I don't know. But I know it's a lot, and I know it's scary to some people, but really, it's time to spiritually stand your ground, because these people have been doing utter evil completely in our faces. And they expect us to be too apathetic to even notice. And there are multiple facets of things going. Because, I've been watching old reruns of Barney Miller. People have put them up on YouTube. And you can watch them on Tubi, which is free. But here's what's wild. There's a joke from 1975 on that show about the one world government. And how they, he mentioned somebody and then said the one world government. And I was like, Lord, the Rockefellers. I'm like, man, nothing is new. That's 50 plus years ago. And it's like, oh, okay. So none of these concepts are new, and they have failed before, and they will fail again, because what they don't count on, and this time I think it's going to be final. Like, we're going to put an end to all of it, because what they don't count on is the sense of decency that most people have. And most people draw the line with, hunting, raping, and torturing children for sport. And every background is represented, so it won't be one group sitting out saying, well, it only happened to them, so that doesn't affect me. It affected everybody, and it has affected everybody. And a lot of these people you put your faith in and voted in and believed in and have pictures of in your home, or you hold space for them in a positive way. A lot of those people have been a part of this, and they certainly didn't say anything. I mean, to be honest with you, why didn't Joe Biden's administration attack this? He could have done something too. He didn't. None of them have. You could probably even make a case that Obama could have gone after this ring. He didn't do anything either. Well, we know Trump didn't do anything the first time, and he's trying to make it go away this time. But what a dummy. You promised people you were going to do this. You promised people that you were going to seek justice for this very thing, and then you reneged, and people are like, no, I voted for you specifically because you were going to get justice for victims from Jeffrey Epstein. Even though I don't understand how people could think that, because clearly Donald Trump is in the files. And then somehow, miraculously, the files keep getting released by the DOJ. And so it's like, well, what's going on? And I suspect that there are people who are trying to do the right thing, but the higher-ups are trying to stop them. So according to Thomas Massey, Pam Bondi states that there's nothing left in the emails and the files except for child porn, and no one wants to see that. That's something she said to him at a dinner party. And so I have to say that it's less about people wanting to see the child porn and more about, and it's disturbing. I've worked on many child sex cases. I haven't seen what she's talking about, but I've seen enough to know I don't enjoy looking at that stuff. She is correct. However, I did help lock up a lot of child predators. And a lot is, comparatively speaking, because I live in a county, I mean, this is going to be probably thousands of sex traffickers, people who participated in this and should be brought to justice. And at this point, I'm thinking about, like, let's just get a pit and throw them all in it and watch them die as they try to climb out of it. I'm talking Old Testament. Let's get upset for real, because they've taken all of our money and all of our time and funded a lot of this nonsense with it. Like, all of it. And bought off people, paid for people's silence, moved people around like they were pieces in some sort of weird chess game that we weren't privy to. So, I mean, instead of getting sad and scared, I'm getting excited, because we might be able to finally be free of evil and live in a world where people just enjoy their lives and stop feeling so put upon and manipulated by rich, evil people. This has been something straight out of a book. I mean, this sounds like a plot of some scary movie from the 70s or 80s. If you haven't watched Deliverance, you should watch it. It still slaps, and there's a reason why no one's remade that one. But yeah, stay strong. Stay strong. Keep your faith, because the only way out of this mess is to go through it. And it's our apathy that has led us here. And now that people are really... See, that's why they kept making fun of woke, even though I never took to that because it's grammatically incorrect. But that's why they didn't want people to be awake. They didn't want people to be paying attention. And that wasn't even really like as deep as we could go down the rabbit hole. The stuff that happened with Jeffrey Epstein while he was able to get out of jail that first time, that is insane. But now people are paying attention, and the clock is ticking. And even people who can't pronounce her name, I heard somebody say Nancy Pelosi the other day. Learn people's names, but yeah, even somebody who doesn't know her name knows she's up to no good. Come on, man. This is what we've been waiting for. When you ask to be delivered from evil, guess what? You're gonna be shown a lot of evil, and you gotta believe it. Because this shit sounds preposterous, but it's not. And we are the right people for the job. Thank you for listening. I hope you have an amazing weekend. Please take care of yourselves. And we'll meet back here next week, where we will firmly be in the middle of February already. Take care.